So should I base here? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So, how is everyone doing? So that is good evening in the Philippines, and well, good morning here in the United States. 7:05 in the morning in Utah. My computer is still in Texas time, so that is 8 o'clock, 8:05 in Texas. So yeah, today's topic is kind of personal. Yeah, I think it. Hi, baby. So my husband is in the other room because yeah, he's used to me having the room for myself because I work, from home, and when I am working, he cannot stay inside the room. So yeah. Anyway, so today's topic is very personal and has been, you know, requested by a lot of people because I am aware that a lot of my audience are people I know from the Philippines who are in the pharmacy profession. Some of them have been my students and are now my colleagues. So, hi, and thank you for watching. And some of them are people I have worked with. Some are my friends, so thank you for supporting me. And of course, I have my family, and then I have subscribers who just want to subscribe to me, so thank you. So today's topic is me taking up pharmacy. Um, how is the pharmacy profession? Why did I choose pharmacy? How much did I spend in the university to get that degree? Okay, so I will do a two-part maybe because this is the first part, and for today's live stream, I would just want to talk more about the pharmacy practice in the Philippines, the education, the board exam, and you know, mainly in the pharmacies, the Philippine setup. Okay, it's very much different from the setup that we have here in the United States. So that will be probably next week or 2 weeks from now. I will have to decide on that because I have three jobs right now, two of which are just online, which I love, and I like being busy like that. And the other one is me doing my internship for my pharmacy here. So, um, let's first talk about why I decided to choose pharmacy. People who are not from the Philippines may not know this, but going to college is kind of a must. I think, well, maybe in my circle or my group, like right after high school, a lot of people go directly to the university. We don't really like have the option to not go to the university. Well, I mean, if you're in the middle class income family and your parents are the typical Filipinos that would make you go to college, like that's non-negotiable. It's after high school you go to college, So that is for my viewers who are not from the Philippines. So like that's how it is. The Filipino culture. So it was usually in your junior year in high school. That's third year high school. You will have to take different entrance exams. So again, that is different from the United States because in the United States, my husband told me that you have to take, I know, the SAT, and then there's another one. If you don't take the SAT, you take something else. Babe, what is that? Uh, babe. So anyway, so it's like a national exam for high school students that they have to take. One is SAT. I don't know the other. Okay, ACT according to my husband, and yeah, that's a national exam that you use in applying to these different universities. That's how it is here, and you can take it more than once, if I'm not mistaken. Like until you get the score that you want to submit, right? Yeah, I think that's how it goes. I'm not very sure. So you as viewers, please let me know. So in the Philippines, on your third year of high school, you kind of have to decide what university you want to go to, what course you would want to take. And during my time, I took third year twice. Well, not really twice. I dropped out of Holy Family Academy for some personal reasons. That is where my sister actually graduated. My sister is a very smart, intelligent person. So my sister was the valedictorian in Holy Family Academy. And well, I was an honor student. I told you I've never really doubted my brains, but I was at a point in my life where I was trying to search who I am or trying to be different from my sister because my sister is smart and everybody knows that, you know? And then I transferred school and went to St. Catherine's Academy. Both are private Catholic schools in the Philippines. Yes, I'm a product of two Catholic schools. So, yeah. So, in that third year, you have to decide what you want to do with your life. You apply to different universities. It's not just like one national exam as it is here. And at that point, my grades are already doing pretty well because I've always had good grades. I mean, even when I was in Holy Family Academy, I was an honor student until my like almost all the time that I was there until my second year. Second year, I basically was out of the best section. They call it the best section. So when you are in the best section, mainly, you're smart. And a lot of people do not like you because, they think you're like the outliers or whatever. So in my second year of high school, I was not in the best section. And honestly, it was a really great experience. High took forbearance during that. It's one of the best years of my life. I realized that, yeah, it's fun to not really just think about school that much. So I explored. And then third year, yeah, I did something crazy. Transferred school, went to St. Catherine's Academy. St. Catherine's Academy, I had to prove to myself that, hey, I'm smart and I can be known for, being smart as well, not just like my sister. At least it's a different school. So I was doing well in academically speaking. I was doing well with schools or grades. So my sister at that time is already a graduate of the University of the Philippines College of Pharmacy. Yes, if I'm not mistaken, she is already a graduate. And she has already taken the licensure exam for pharmacists in the Philippines. And of course, as everybody knows in the Philippines, that my sister was number one during her time in the licensure exam for pharmacists. So my sister and I are very different. She is prim and proper, quiet, which I'm not really that prim and proper. Obviously, I'm not quiet. I love talking. Thus, this all live stream. So, but we get along really well. Like, she let me be me. Like, for her, like, this is your life. You do whatever you want to do. And she's one of those people that never really judged me with my choices and how I chose to live my life. So, at third year, that is around 14, 15. That's like you're 16 years old. I didn't know what I want to do with my life. Well, I wanted to be a lawyer. But, of course, my parents, my mom didn't like that. So, in the Filipino culture, or maybe in my upbringing, for some reason, my mom has this thing that, she wants her kids to be doctors. And to be a doctor in the Philippines is to have a pre-med course. And you can take any course, of course, because after that 4-year course, you'll just simply take the NMAT and, apply again for med school. Of course, it will be helpful if you take up any, medical related field. So what are these medical related field that you could take? You could take BS Bio, you could take even nursing, you could take pharmacy, and PTOT. Of course, these allied health professionals stand on their own. Like, it's good, but a lot of people sometimes go through them as their pre-med course and then go to med school. Okay, so my sister is already a pharmacist at this point. She was number one in the board exam, and she's gonna go to med school. Okay, I didn't know what I want to do, and it is in my generation where almost all people going to college are taking up BS nursing. It's the easiest, not easy as it's a way for some people to go to the U.S. or migrate. I I'm not very familiar with the nursing curriculum, so I don't know how that goes. So going back to my story, I have applied to three universities. I applied to UST, Ateneo, the Ateneo, and of course the University of the Philippines. Okay. Um, I had other offers because I could after those three universities because you take it earlier to take those exams, and then like throughout the time colleges will sometimes visit your school and talk about their programs and whatever and stuff like that. So I did have offers. I did have scholarship offers to other schools that would give you like full scholarship and this and that and whatever course you wanted, but my sister having graduated from the University of the Philippines and my mom being my mom, I basically only have those three options, those three universities. Um, there are actually called the Big Four in the Philippines. The other one is LaSalle. I did not take the entrance exam in LaSalle because they're known to be the rich crowd. I'm not a. During that time, our family business was going down the hill. So I know that that's something I cannot or we will not be able to afford. So why take the exam, And you have to pay to take that exam. So Gabby said, true, almost took nursing because it was so much in demand back then. Really? I didn't know that, Gab, that you almost took nursing. I did not know that. Okay, so I took the exams in these three universities. I passed them all. I passed in Ateneo, I passed the BS Health Sciences course. It's an honors program that, I think would lead to medicine or something like that. And to be admitted to it, you have to belong to the top 15% of those who took it. That was during my time. I don't know how it is now. In UST, I got admitted in BS Nursing. And in UP, I got admitted in pharmacy. So, backstory. My I don't like filling up forms. My husband knows this. I hate filling up forms. So, when it was time to fill up forms for UP, my sister asked me what course I want to take, and I was like, I want to take political science, I want to take journalism, or whatever. And then my mom was like, no, take something medical related. You don't have a choice. Hello, Asians. Hello, Filipinos. Okay, Gabby. If I didn't pass the UPCAT, I would have took nursing or elsewhere, and we wouldn't have crossed paths. Oh, I'm glad you did. Well, you're smart. I knew you would. We're smart. Okay. Anyway, so I was like, well, you'll not let me choose what course I want. So yeah, let's just take BS Pharmacy. And then my second choice for a degree was BS Industrial Pharmacy. So that is a Bachelor of Science in Pharmacy and a Bachelor of Science in Industrial Pharmacy. And my sister was like, are you sure? Are you sure you want to take up pharmacy? It's a lot of math. It's difficult. It's not, it's not easy, Dad. That's what my sister said. And in my head, I was like, you're telling me that pharmacy is not easy, but you graduated cum laude from the University of the Philippines and you were number one in the licensure exam. And you're telling me it's not easy. So in my head, I was like, wait, I'm smart too. I mean, yeah, you took the straight path and you're this and that, but I can do this. I'm like, math is difficult. I graduated valedictorian in St. Catherine's Academy. I had the best in math. I got the best in physics. I got the best in journalism award. And I was like, Yeah, I'm bragging right now. But like that's how I felt when my sister said, "Hey, pharmacy is difficult." I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I didn't take her advice seriously. I was like, "How hard could pharmacy be? Come on, what do you know about pharmacy? It's just about medicine, like selling it or whatever." We did. A lot of people do not know much about it. So I was like, just put me as pharmacy. It's fine. So yes, I got admitted to BS Pharmacy. I knew that I will. So I got admitted in Ateneo, UST, and UP. I know that our family business was not doing very well. I know because I could see, like, you. I was young, but I know that my parents are having troubles. Um, Starts with you see the cars and those stuff. So you see some stuff slowly go away, like things that you are used to and stuff like that. So I knew that we will not be able to afford the tuition fee in Ateneo. I'm being realistic, like it is expensive. That is an expensive university. And even if I do get a scholarship somewhere, somehow, I know it would be difficult for me to be in an environment where everybody's rich. Again, that is just my connotation. I'm like, no, I don't, so I'm like, no. And I'm not, if I'm going to NNAO, it's probably because I am sure that I want to be a doctor. And at that point, I know that I didn't want to be a doctor. So I'm like, no, okay. So we're left with two universities. That's the University of Santo Tomas, which is the oldest university in Asia, right? I'm not sure. It has that, that's something special about it. And UP. So it's a choice between becoming a nurse and becoming a pharmacist. I didn't know what I want to do with my life at that point. Like, I really don't know what I wanted to do with my life. But I know one thing is for sure. It requires a heart to be a nurse. Like I have an idea of what their job is. It takes a good heart to be a nurse. Like, I don't know how they do it. And I don't have that kind of heart. Like, I'm nice, yeah, but I'm not that nice. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess pharmacy it is. So, and well, of course, tuition fee wise as well. UST, I have no idea how much their tuition was, but at that point, I have family members, relatives who were like, yeah, just go take up nursing, because I have a lot of family members who are here in the US as well. So, by the way, thank you to everyone who extended their condolences. My grandmother was the one who passed away. She was the one who filed the petition for my family, for my parents. So that's why they are here too. So yeah, that is a complicated matter, but thank you to everyone. And oh my god, I didn't expect this. So yeah, she's 98 years old. She has lived full life. So yeah, going back. So people wanted me to take up nursing because we know that they do make good money here. Huh? Sorry, I didn't expect to kind of cry in this one, but yeah. Okay, so anyway, this is supposed to be fun. Yeah, so at that point, a lot of relatives were telling me to take up nursing, but knowing me, I don't like being told what to do. So I'm like, yeah, I'm taking up pharmacy. I think, were the last batch where the tuition fee was not that high for pharma students, or for UP graduates, or for UP students, one semester back then is less than $200. Okay, yeah, it's less than 10,000 pesos for me to take one sem. And for those who do not know, BS Pharmacy in the Philippines is a 5 year degree. Well, in the University of the Philippines, it is a 5 year degree. It is a 5 year degree because they do not offer like an additional clean FAR. If you pass the BS Pharmacy course, inside it, in that 5 year curriculum, we already have clinical pharmacy and all the other stuff. It is somehow adjusted in a way that if a graduate would decide to go to the I don't know how it's decided, but I guess it's because they tried to keep up with the trend. And at that time, in the United States, they have changed the requirement to be able to practice here. So I am lucky enough, having graduated from the University of the Philippines, when I got here, I did not have to study anymore. I had to take several exams, which I will talk about in the next part of my live stream about pharmacy. So, yeah, um, it's less than $200 back then, not so long ago, several years ago. How much was it, Gabby? Do you have any idea? I mean, I am bringing with me my transcripts because those are the things that I knew I would use. I still have those class cards. They're there in somewhere, but I have them. But I know that like one is only $150 for like one SAM to study pharmacy. It's a 5 year degree, and not a lot of people graduate 10K pesos per SAM. Yeah, yeah, it's 10K. Like, but we were irreg. We're normal students. So there was a time that it was only like 7,500 pesos, right? Like, yeah, it's less than $200. Okay, so it's a 5 year degree. I took it for 6 years. I think in our block, only 11 or 10 people finish it in 5 years. I'm not one of them. I had so much going on during college, and you know, it is what it is. There's in my second year, I did pretty well. I had like there was a time that I was a college scholar. One time, one sem. Okay, and that means that my average was I think 1.5 above. It's totally different here in the US because their grading system I think is like the LaSalle, that it's the grades are like one is low, but in the Philippines one is, well, in the University of the Philippines one is the highest. So I've experienced all those grades from 1 to 5. 5 is failing. I did fail a subject that is quantitative chemistry, that is FARChem 135. Oh my god, FARChem 135. A lot of us failed it. Only those 10 in our block, or 11, I think they're just 10 that graduated on time, that passed that subject. Because that is the titrations and we do it individually and stuff like that. I'll talk more about that in a while. So I got in UP. I was pretty confident that I'm smart. Like, hey, I graduated valedictorian. Like, I got all these awards. I'm smart. I got this. And I was like, my memory is good. I have very good memory. Proud irreg here. Such is life. Yeah, same here. I'm human. So a lot of my students would think that when I teach, like I'm so smart or whatever. No, guys, I have been there. So I was like, oh, this is gonna be cool, easy. First year in the University of the Philippines. The first subjects that I really remember, or a subject that's one subject, was Math 17. For UP people who did not take up pharmacy or did not have Math 17, Math 17 is Math 11 plus Math 14, something like that. That's what they say. So it's your algebra and trigonometry combined together. So my sister told me that Math 17 is difficult, take it seriously, study hard, blah, blah, blah. Not to brag, but yeah, somehow to brag. When I was in high school, I'd go to class, kind of hangover, take the exam, and pass. I graduated valedictorian. I'm like, I didn't really have to study that much. So I was like, yeah, sure, it's difficult, whatever. And the person who is telling me that it is difficult is my sister, who's number one in the board exam. Like, I don't believe it, you know? So I was like, yeah, sure. Then we had Math 17. The In UP, we did not have prelims, midterms, or finals. Mainly, the number of units a subject is the number of times that you would have to take the exam, or the number of exams that you have. So Math 17 was a 5 unit subject, and because it's 5 units, you have 5 exams, 5 departmental exams. When we say departmental exams, mainly, um regardless who your professor is, the exam will be the same. And we have, like, people who are taking Math 17 are, I remember some BS Bio would have Math 17 because I met some wonderful friends from there. Intermed has Math 17. Intermed, I don't remember. I think they're the top 100 who took the UPCAT. And then they're like, it's a fast track course to becoming a doctor. It's like 6 years, I think. And then you have your med degree. So these are the people who take that course. So first Math 17 exam, I studied. I will not say I did not study. I studied like 2 days, 2 days, 3 days. I studied. I tried. I'm good with memorization. I was good in math. I thought I was good in math when I was in high school, you know? My high school classmates who are subscribed here probably know that I'm good in math. And Math 17. Remember Math 17, guys? Remember your first math subject? OMG. I studied hard. And I saw the exam. I'm not good with guessing. If I don't know the answer in an exam, more likely I will not get it right. And while it's not multiple, well, there are some multiple choice, but there's problem solving. So I got out of that exam not knowing if I pass it or not. Most of the time when I get out of an exam, I kind of know already within myself whether I get the answers or not. I was like, no, I have no idea what just happened. Math 17. I went straight to mini stop in near Robinson's, Manila, because it's near UP Manila, and got myself a cold beer. Hi, Sals. Remember your pharma days? I was walking back to my dorm, which is a ladies' dormitory for like Catholic, and it's very strict. I don't know why my mom put me there, but yeah. So I had to finish my drink. Why? Before I get there. Of course, that is not legal in the United States. In the United States, you cannot be walking around having a drink with you and drinking. Of course, except if you're in New Orleans. In New Orleans, you can do that, guys. So go to New Orleans if you want to go drinking and, just walking and drinking. But here you can't do that. Okay, so I was drinking my canned beer and contemplating, what the hell am I doing with my life? Why? It's the first time that I took an exam and I was overwhelmed. Growing up in a small town in Pampanga and graduating in, I came from Holy Family, which is a pretty big school, and then I went to St. Catherine, which is like a smaller school. I was like, why am I here? Like, I realized that I am not that smart. I'm a normal person. Like, how? Like, I started doubting, like, did I even really pass the UPCAT? Do I even really deserve to be in this university? Because The tuition was cheap or affordable or whatever, or reasonable, or whatever term you want to call it, because part of it is subsidized by the government. Okay, so, and you have a certain number of years to complete your course, and you have to maintain certain grades. So Math 17 was a reality check as well for me. Realize how average I was. Yeah. It was the first exam that made me think like, am I do I belong here? Do I fit here? I got home. My sister was in UP Med by that time. She's one of those bionic kids that they call, or a mutant, because well, she's from College of Pharmacy, and she was able to get into UP Med. That's a big thing for UP Pharmacy graduates getting in UP Med, because as they say in the College of Pharmacy, we're not training you to become doctors. We're training you to become pharmacists. And I know that a lot of you, like, this is one of the speech that I remember from Sir Eric. Like, I know, like, yeah, we're not training you to become doctors. We're training you to be good pharmacist, or the best pharmacist there is. And then I also remember one time they were like, I know a lot of you, I forgot who said this, a lot of you are taking pharmacy as a pre-med course, but no, yeah, you can still choose to pursue med, but in this college, in the College of Pharmacy, we're training you to be the best pharmacist. So I'm like, I didn't even want to be a doctor. Mother, I didn't want to be a doctor. I know you wanted us to be doctors, but I didn't want to be a doctor. So, and pharmacy was like, I just didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. So I'm like, oh, what the hell is this? Okay, going back to my story, I was like, my sister was, I think, having her duty. The next day I told her, she asked me how the exam was. I was like, I don't know. Exams were released by Ma'am Nikki C. Of course, I remember her. She's really nice. She teaches, she would teach you. She does her best, but sometimes I don't know. I don't know why I don't get it. I don't know why I study so hard, stay up late, not get enough sleep. But when the exam comes, where did these questions come from? Like, where? So when she released the exams, I received the first ever failed exam in my life. I do not fail exams. When I was in school, I get frustrated when I get two mistakes. Like, my mom once told us that I don't have kids who have grades lower than 80. So getting anything lower than 80% was not normal to me. It was devastating. Yeah, that is too dramatic, but it was that's how we were raised, Uh, there is that pressure to do good. And I blame this on my sister. I love you, ate. Because my sister did so well with school that my parents' or my mom's expectation was a little too high. My mom did not know that pharmacy was difficult because my sister has always been, a college or university scholar. My mom thought I was just chillaxing. My mom thought I was not doing my best, and I think they kind of thought that I was again living the life I was living in high school, where I was just doing whatever, not studying, not doing anything. But I was studying. I was studying hard. But I still fail. And OMG, I just saw this calculator. This has been my calculator since college. And inside it, see, it's my calculator since college. So you can see my name, University of the Philippines, my student number, and there's this prayer before exam. It's prayer before exams, and then if you flip it, it's a student's prayer. This was given by our Math 17 prof. Do you still have this, Gab? This was given by Mom Nikki in 2006. See, wait, there in Mom Nikki 2006. Um, yeah, because it is in Math 17 when I realized that sometimes you just have to pray. You will study hard, but sometimes you just have to pray because let it be, let God let it be. You know, so for non-pharmacy students who are from UP, Math 17 is DPSM, and everybody knows that their exams are, you know, I don't know. I don't know how it is now, but during our time, it's an exam that do they really want us to pass? So yeah, that was my first SEM, first year. I survived it. I survived Math 17. Some people had a hard time with Chem 14. That is our first chemistry subjects, but you never thought that you'll have a lot of chemistry. You know, whoever thought that being a pharmacist requires you to be good in chemistry? Math was more of my problem, which is weird because I knew I was good in math. Chemistry was okay. At least the first chemistry subject that was Chem 14, Gen Chem. Hindi pa tayo ilaw nun. Okay, I'm mumbling to myself. I forgot who my Chem for was it Surly? No, Surly was with Ma'am Ilaw, that is Chem 18. Sir RV and Ma'am Happy. She's my friend in Facebook. Ma'am Happy. Yeah, that's Chem 14 and Chem 14.1. I was okay. I mean, I wasn't spectacular. I have some friends who are like, you know, Ray, for example. They're just bionics. The prof who said, sugar. Yeah, sugar. Okay, so that was Chem 14. That's the first chem you will encounter. And when I started teaching, it's a subject that I taught. For some reason, I don't know why Ma'am Net in the University of Makati gave Chem 14 to me. If I have students from the University of Makati right now listening, and I taught Chem 14, I did my best to make it as easy as possible. But I have also told them that this is the first chemistry you will encounter. And if in this subject you are having a hard time and you're having second thoughts, sick within yourself, think if it is what you really want. If it is what you really want, go ahead. No pain, no gain. But if you're struggling and this doesn't seem to be the subject or the course that you want, it's okay. I have friends who decided that pharmacy wasn't for them. They shifted course. They were happy. They for a short time where we were still stuck in pharmacy and studying, they were happier than us. They were like, we're so glad we got out. So again, that is in you. And I've always known that I could shift. And I always tell my sister that I would shift. I would even tell my friends. We were like, ayoko na in English is, I don't want this anymore. I can't stand this anymore. I'm shifting. So I would always tell my sister that every finals. I go to my sister, message her, tell her, I'm shifting. I don't want this course. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. And then my sister would tell me, so what course do you want to take? I'm like, I don't know. And then she would be like, and you have to remember, your grades are not that great. If you want to shift course, your grades have to be better. Like, I guess I'm stuck here. So, I actually got through the first year of college okay. I dropped Math 100, I think that's the second sem, that's calculus. Integral differential calculus, stuff like that. I dropped it, but I took it summer and passed it. I dropped it because I asked God for a sign. I was like, Lord, please give me a sign if I should drop this or not. I look at the curriculum, and I knew that I have the summer to take it. Like if I don't finish it this sem, I'll be fine. See, I always think outside the box. I try to look at ways how to make things work for me in a way. So I dropped it and took it summer. It was a great decision because a lot of my classmates joined me that summer anyway. So yeah, that was Math 100. Some memorable subjects, calculus. I don't even remember anything about it right now. Okay, and then second year was okay. We got organic chemistry, industrial, inorganic. It wasn't easy, but it was okay. Still regular. Most of my blockmates still are too, right? Like second year, go, we got this. But then there came third year. Third year. FARChem 135. This is our quantitative chemistry. So, for people who are not from the University of the Philippines, QA/QC and Quali/Quanti are different subjects and different departments during our time. I don't know now. Of course, things change, no? Okay, during our time, QA/QC is handled by Industrial Pharmacy Department. Qualitative Quantitative Chemistry is handled by the Pharmaceutical Chemistry Department, or the FARChem. They give the hardest exams. They broke my heart a lot. Blood, sweat, and tears. With hagulgul moment. My friends can relate. With some deep-rooted anger. I mean, I appreciate. Gabby, what do you appreciate? I appreciate that it made me stronger. I appreciate that I learned that I have to look for things on my own and stuff like that. It was difficult. I'm not sure. It was difficult. So, FARChem 135 is quantitative chemistry. It's the first series I learned to be resilient. Yeah. It's the first quantitative chemistry series where it's all about titrations. We titrate. We did not have a manual during our time. We were given a manual with pages that only have lines in it. So you look for the procedure, you look for the reasons for important steps, and this and that. It's an individual laboratory. You have a different sample from your classmates, so you can't really copy, you know? Come on, it's part of university life. You are on your own. That is FARChem 135. That's what I learned in FARChem 135. You have to be self-sufficient, self-reliant. You have to be independent. You have to be competent on your own. So, yeah. You do the titrations, analysis, calculations, pre-lab, post-lab, everything on your own. I got the grade of 4 in my first take. 4 is where it's what they call we call it the do or die exam, but what do we call it, Gabby? You can take a what's that exam? Anyone? Removals. Okay, I need my coffee. Okay, so a grade of 4 would mean that you have to take a removals. Yes, it's a do or die exam. Your future relies on it. Yeah, because if you fail it, you get delayed a year. One failed subject in a prerequisite subject would usually mean 1 year delayed. Did you take the removals, Gabby? I took the removals. I took the removal exam along with several other people. We were a lot. It's like two classrooms who took the removal, so almost everyone. I don't know, may galit po ba kayo sa amin? May galit po ba kayo sa batch namin in English? Because my husband was like, can you please translate it in English when you talk in Filipino? Oh, you get straight 5 in 135. Such is life. Okay, husband, what I just said earlier is, do they have any anger toward us? Were they mad at us? Why? Why? Because almost all of us took the removal exam. So I got the 4. I took the removals. Obviously, I failed it. That exam was not made to be passed. That exam was made for students to fail. I'm sorry if that's not how my professors thought about it. This is me. That's how I saw it. And I'm pretty sure a lot of my classmates during that time saw it that way. That it wasn't made to be passed. Anyway, but then again, such is life. It happened. It was okay. At that point, I then realized that the family business wasn't really doing well. My parents are struggling, and maybe failing FARChem 135 was a blessing in disguise because I became irregular. I had more time than usual. I could do other stuff. That's when I started looking for a job because I know my parents never told us, and they did not really want me to work because they know that, or somehow they think that if you start earning money, you can get lazy studying, and they are worried that I would end up not finishing my degree, which is understandable and somehow true. You know, you're already earning money, and what's the purpose of going to school? To earn money. If you're already earning money, then why? But knowing my mom, of course, I would have to finish my school. So that's when I started applying for jobs, uh, which was difficult because not a lot of companies would want to hire you when you are a student, and at least in the Philippines and in the setup that I am in. So it is difficult to get a part time job during my time. I know right now it's already different. And even during the time of my brother, it was easier to like look for a part time job as a student. So during my time, I started applying. I even applied to like call centers and stuff. But then the problem is when they find out that I am in the university and I am studying, they will be like, you will not have enough time to be working and studying. Because, let's face it, universities in the Philippines have so much hours. Like, we have days wherein we are in school from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. You're lucky to have a 1 hour break in between. So that's the reason why it's not common for pharmacy students to be working and studying at the same time. Because when I told my husband, like, I was working and studying, and he's like, what's the big deal? Everybody here does that. You know, everybody in, like, a lot of college students have jobs here. It's not the way it is in the Philippines, or at least with the community or group that I am in. At that time, a lot of people in school did not really know this. Like, I don't know, maybe because when my sister was studying college in the university, whereas my parents, our business was doing really well. We're pretty well off. You know, we're pretty well off. Like, my sister did not really have to stay that much in the library because she would have all these books. We have a USP at home. We have not one, but 2 or 3 Remingtons at home. So my sister had all those books ready for me. So I knew that a lot of people think back then that I was just like some spoiled brat or whatever. And I'm so different from my sister, wearing short skirts and, being so maarte slash vain. Okay, so I'm trying to translate it in English. So I know I have been misjudged a lot. Um, it affected me for a while because for some reason I thought that going into the University of the Philippines means having open-minded people. Like that's what we are known for, right? Like we're activists, we think outside the box. But sad to say, I knew that I was judged for the clothes that I wear or how I chose to express myself. I know because I was even featured in a university newsletter. Like it was a blind item, but I knew it was me because I was the only one wearing those micro mini skirts and stuff. So I knew I was judged, but well, it is what it is. A lot of professors maybe did not like me. I don't know, but it is what it is. I was okay with it. I've struggled a little because there are times that professor will even go to my sister and tell them like, "Hey, tell your sister to change her clothes or whatever." So that's a soft spot for me. And my sister has always respected who I am or how I express myself. So there was even a time that I think a friend of hers said that or replied like, "Why do they care so much? Like we're in UP, we're in the University of the Philippines." And of course, I do understand that we are in the healthcare profession. We are supposed to dress up as professionals or whatever. But at that time, I was 16, 17 years old, and I only wear clothes like shorts or skirts in classes where it's not required to wear uniform, like in AS or stuff like that. So I still dressed appropriately, meaning to say when they say that we're in the laboratory and you're supposed to be covered, I'll wear pants, covered shoes. I wear my lab gown. I follow the rules. I do. I don't like following the rules, but I follow the rules. But somehow it is what it is. That I think that is the reason why with my students, I always just tell them like I'm not very strict when it comes to the classroom, except in the university where I don't like people using their phone while I'm teaching. But in review, you do you, that's you. If you think you can study at home or do it better than the way I teach it, fine. I don't mind. Okay, you're paying for being in my class and you don't want to listen? Fine. Okay, anyway, so going back, so I was looking for a job, this and that. I found a job. I That was when teaching English online was just starting. It was just starting. So I was like, "Oh, this is perfect. I only need a computer and my English." I mean, I know some people think I still have like an accent or whatever. Like, yeah, I am Filipino, but my grammar somehow, I know of course I'm not perfect, but I'm pretty confident with my English skills. I was the editor in chief of the school paper back in high school, and I've won several competitions in writing. So I applied. Thank you to that company that was English Power back then. They hired me, and it wasn't paying a lot. I mean, it's Filipino rate. If I convert it, because I'm in the US, yeah, it wasn't paying a lot at all. But during that time, being a student and, being in UP, it was enough. It was enough. Especially like I would work, they see how hard I work. Um, I would work anywhere from 4, so I would correct that description. It's not 8. So the minimum number of hours I would work in a day is 4 hours to 11 hours. Like on weekends, when there are no exams, like Sundays, I would take 11 hours of work, like 6 hours in the morning and 5 hours. They're broken hours because I was teaching Japanese students online. So I worked anywhere from 4 hours to 11 hours. I got paid anywhere from, well, of course, you start not a lot, but I remember it came to a point that they see that I work hard and I have gained students or normal number of students that will always be in my class, and some of them will even just book it, even if they cannot attend it, because so that they could just use that, the days they have or hours they have because they're busy, but they have somehow became my friends as well, so they'll just like, oh, I'll just book it. So and the company I was working for kind of saw that I work hard. I will always be on time. I'm usually not on time when I meet my friends because hello friends, you're also not on time. But with work, I'm almost always on time. Well, except in review. I'm sorry. That's something that I I acknowledge and I am sorry for those times that am late. So the company saw that I was, really hardworking and trying my best. So they ended up like giving me flat rates, meaning to say with or without student, I get paid just by being online. So yeah, I did that until I took the board exam in 2013. Yeah, took the board exam in January of 2013. I graduated in May 2012 because I was a summer graduate because I was an irregular. uh, so yeah, I think when I stopped working, one of the highest paychecks I got was 20,000 pesos in a month. That's like $400. So that was like a big thing for me because that's quite a huge amount already in the Philippines. It's reasonable. Like you can live with it. Like so, yeah, I did that until I was studying for the board exam. Board exam. How is your board exam experience, guys? Okay, brief background for non-Filipinos who are tuning or who are gonna watch this or watching this. The board exam in the Philippines is 2 days for pharmacists. It's a 2 day exam, 3 modules each. The first module, that's module one, is a lot of chemistry in organic chemistry. The second module is biochemistry and pharmacognosy, again, chemistry and plants. The third module is about the practice of pharmacy. The practice of pharmacy will include your hospital pharmacy, clinical pharmacy, pharmaceutical calculations. So yes, walang math, walang chemistry. Magme-memorize ka lang, buiset. Akala nyo lang yun, di ba? So, first day, those three subjects, oh well. Second day, you have module 4, that is pharmacology. Module 5 is your physical pharmacy, wherein you also have your dosage form, drug delivery system, juris. Juris is in that day. And module 6 is micro para public health. Quali quanti QAQZ. That is the first, well, it's not the first, but the first module I taught as a whole. The first subject I ever taught is module 4, biopharmaceutics. So module 4 is pharmacology, biopharmaceutics, pharmacokinetics, ADRs, and toxicology. Yeah, easy. Memorization. Yeah, magtitinda ka lang ng gamot. Buiset. So, that was the board exam. It's 2 days. It's 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock usually. My sister told me to start studying as soon as I graduated. That was May. But knowing me, I don't listen. I do not like being told what to do. So, my sister told me to start studying by, June or July. But then, my friends and I, that was the time that, Gabby, you took the 2012 board exam, right? That was May or June. Was it? It's June back then, right? There's June boards. Gabby. Anyway, so I think that's when my friends like Gabby and Jazz took the board exam around June because they graduated ahead of me, a sem ahead of me. Yeah, so 2012 July, yeah, somewhere there. So my sister has been telling me already to like attend reviews and study. Of course, me, I'm like, I just graduated. I just finished through the sleepless nights, and you want me to study already? That's no, no. I will not study. I refuse. I'm tired. I need to sleep. I need to rest. I'll work and earn money. So, and that was also the time that our thesis, was accepted in ACCP, that is Asian Conference on Clinical Pharmacy, for poster presentation. So my two thesis mates back then would take the July 2012 exam. So I took the responsibility of doing the poster present, like the poster that we will bring there and stuff. So I'm like, no, I will study after this. So my friends and I went to Hong Kong for that. That was our first trip outside the country. Well, a lot of us, because we're broke college students. We didn't have any money. Uh, Jess and I actually we had sponsors. So I forgot who our sponsors are. One is Senator Lucy Torres. I do remember, but yeah. So we had to like solicit and ask for sponsorship for that trip, and yeah, I mean, well, for our thesis, we also decided that we cannot do animal studies, or we could not do experimental thesis because we know that it requires money, and we don't have money. Jazz and I are poor. Kayla was kind of rich. Kayla is rich, not kind of rich, but Jazz and I are poor. We're like, friend, what thesis can we finish with the least amount of money that we have to shell out? We're cheap. We're broke. We only have our brains. Duh. So yeah, I think we made a therapeutic guideline about the use of non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs on osteoarthritic elderly patients. So that's about it, and then it's like a review of records. We went to PGH and stuff like that. So yeah, money was a big consideration going to college. I mean, it's expensive to go through college, and I know that, and I know that personally because once I started working, I stopped asking any kind of money from my parents. So I was paying for my tuition fee and providing for, like, I was using the internet because I was the one I was teaching. So I started giving my share of the bills at home, and I knew it was difficult. And knowing me, I like nice things. I like dressing up. I like coffee. I need to go out to study. I need to go to Starbucks back then to study. So it does cost money. And it was difficult, but I think I did use it wisely. Like, yeah, it is expensive to study in a coffee shop compared to just staying at home. But my problem is when I stay home, having pharmacy book beside you and bed and an AC, air condition, that is a additive sedative effect. I end up not being able to study and just sleeping. So it's like, yeah, to me, it's worth it. It's worth it to go out and study because I could study 4 to 8 hours a day and then go home and work from home. So, yeah, so if there are any students here who are going to take the licensure exam in the Philippines, back then what I did was from 6 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock in the morning, I would work because that's the work schedule. I would work and then I will go back, take a nap, but be sure that by 12 or 1 o'clock, I'm out. I'm in a coffee shop and studying until around 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening. So that's like 6 to 7 hours. Sometimes I get lazy. I go home by 4 or 5 o'clock. So 4 hours minimum. I study. And then by 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock, midnight, I will be working. So I work 4 hours in the morning, 4 hours in the evening, and then I sleep again from 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock, where I have to work again. So that was my routine from September. My sister told me to start studying July, but I only studied September. Late September, when the review classes started. That is because I felt the pressure. So it's end of September that I started studying. So the board exam back then was January. So for September, October, November, December, that was my routine because I was working and studying. By January, I took a leave because our board exam was January 12. By January, I told the company I was working for that I'm not gonna work until after the board exam because I needed that time already to, cram. And my husband would tell me like, I never studied that much in my entire life. Because right now I would tell him, you have an exam on Friday, you have to study. And that's not. Hi, husband. So to me, was that enough time? Not really. I felt like it wasn't. Well, you will feel that it was never enough time to study. I felt I crammed a little. 3 months was okay, but working and studying, being so tired, and knowing me, I had a social life, so I will do that every day of the week except Fridays, because Fridays would be my date days, and they're the days I go out and party and drink. So I try to maintain a social life. Review classes are helpful talaga, lalo na if you have great review instructors like that. Yes! Yes, they are very helpful. Just weird that my sister was my instructor. Nakakainis minsan. Like, And then people will think like, oh, your sister is Suzette. For sure, she teaches you a lot. This and that. No, my sister did not really teach me in college. She just let me be. My sister was like, you're my sister. We're made up of the same genes. Maybe they're different, but what I know you should know because we're both smart. You got this. Go ahead, do yourself. So yeah, I mean, there was a time that I remember one time. Jazz will remember this. We were at the condo and my sister was there, and we were crying, cramming, and we're like, I don't understand anything. I think it was biochem. I was like, I don't understand anything. I'm not. No, it's org chem. I think it's org chem. And my sister teaches organic chemistry. We have a series of organic chemistry as well. I don't remember which organic chemistry that was, but we were in the condo, Jazz and I. We're like, I don't understand anything. My sister was there. She was like, what do you not understand? It's like, everything. And she was like, okay, I'll give you 10 minutes. I'll teach you 10 minutes, and you have to get it because you're my sister. Nice. Well, my sister is also a really good lecturer and teacher. She's very patient, and her voice is really calming. She has this Angel Luxin voice for those who do not know her. Hi, ate. I hope you're watching, but I probably not because you're busy with your life, but I love you still, and you'll catch up with this, and you'll realize I talk so much about you. We're different, but we respect and love each other, and we respect each other's individuality. That's what I love about my friends and my sister, brother, and people that I associate myself with, that there are the non-judgmental people. I hate judgmental people. I can't stand them. But I try to maintain my group with these people who let you be you, because we're all different. Okay. Anyway, so that was my pharmacy journey, board exam. Do you have any questions about the board exam? Oh, I think I'll be teaching. Yes, I'm in the United States, but I still accept lectures. August 22 to 25, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Philippine time. I will be teaching pharmacology with ACE RX Learning. So yes, I am still working and lecturing with them. thank you so much for the opportunity because I love teaching. I really do. My husband knows I really miss it. Um, More than the money that I earned from lecturing. I'm in the US now, so if you convert it, no, it's okay. It's still good. It's still good. I mean, any money is good. So, yeah, what were the questions that I actually posted? So, I think yesterday I talked about the because this was just the first part of what I am gonna talk about in here. Okay, so experience of a second. Okay, so I talked about why I took up pharmacy because I thought it was easy. I thought I'll get through it. My initial plan was I'll take up pharmacy. After studying pharmacy, I'll go on to law school because I've always wanted to be a lawyer. You know, my personality. My friends know that. Uh, but my mom never wanted me to become a lawyer. She was like, "You'll die early if you become a lawyer. You'll get killed easily because you're very vocal about a lot of things." So yeah, even when I post about my political views or whatever in Facebook, or I get really passionate about certain things, my mom would tell me, "Stop it." But yeah, so that's why I ended up in pharmacy. I didn't know what I wanted to do in my life. I just knew I couldn't be a nurse because I don't have the heart to be a nurse. I salute nurses. I don't know how you guys do it. I just knew I cannot do it. So that, um, how I got through it, I got through it. I don't know how. Sometimes I'm scared that I told my students that even if I get paid 2 million pesos or millions of pesos to study pharmacy again, I will not do it again. I told them that, like, if someone will pay me to study pharmacy all over again, I'll probably decline it because it was a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of hardships, a lot of tears. Tears. Tears are common. Like you will see a classmate in the hallway just crying. Why? Because we're just so tired. Especially in your last year in the university, you'll just you'll have a day that you will just snap and start crying and like, why am I doing this? We had those days. Um, but the joke's on me. I'm here in the United States. I'm not a student again, but I'm studying again because I have to take not one, not two exams. I had to take quite a few exams to become licensed here. And yes, I know you see that when you Google that the pharmacy professions or pharmacists here get paid at least six digits, and I'm talking about no, yeah, six digits. I'm talking about dollars. Like you easily get $100,000 as a salary to become if you're a pharmacist here. That is because the cost to become a pharmacist here is also so much more. I mean, money wise, student loans and stuff like that. I'll probably talk a little bit about that in my next live stream. So yeah, I finish pharmacy with $200 per SAM, six SAMs, $1,200. So let's say we have miscellaneous and everything. So thank you to the University of the Philippines. I graduated and had a degree in pharmacy for let's say $1,500, and that is during my time. And I did serve the Philippines. I worked in the Philippines from 2013 to 2018. So for 5 years, I was there. I did not have intentions of leaving until I met my husband. Well, so yeah, that's why I'm here. I love the Philippines. Is it worth it if I am not here and if I were in the Philippines, would I say that a pharmacy degree is worth it? I told you it was difficult. It was not easy. Yes, I have pictures in my Facebook that I partied during my college life. That's part that people saw or see or saw back in college, but they didn't see the part that I was working. They didn't see those hardships, that part. Nobody was interested in that anyway. So I did get to party because I like to maintaining a holistic life. And it's my way of relaxing after, of d- dealing with all the things that I have going on. So, and I never liked explaining myself to anyone. People who like me or loves me for who I am, and those who don't, no matter what I do, they won't. So that's not my problem. That's none of my business, right? And yeah, I wouldn't want to go through it again because college was difficult. It is. My time wasn't that expensive. It was reasonable. I know it's more expensive now because of inflation and everything and STFUP and those stuff. So I was lucky to have gone to a university that is really good. I'm proud of my education and is of reasonable price. It's worth it because I have it with me. I met wonderful people. I have wonderful friends who have become my support system. A solid network of people. I have professors that I look up to. It is worth it. Yes, it is. I mean, it was difficult. It made me doubt my intelligence. It made me doubt about a lot of things. But it also opened my mind to the world out there. It opened my mind that there is so much more that I don't know, that I'm just this small person in this world that, you know, you should never really stop learning. It gave me the discipline that I probably would not have had if it was not for pharmacy, because, or even my work ethics are influenced by it. Because when I was in high school, I get through it easily. Like, I didn't have to exert effort. Pharmacy, on the other hand, is not smarts alone. You can study and still fail. So if you do not study, what do you expect? You know, yeah, you will think that you never studied enough, and there are days that you'll fall asleep and not be able to study. But at the end of the day, you will realize, oh, I have studied this course more than anything else in the world. Oh, there was one time I did not really study. That's FARChem 121 in organic chemistry. That is the lowest exam I have ever gotten in my entire life. The exam was by Mom KCT. We had a multiple matching type. Match column A with column B, with column C, with column D, with column E. I remember that exam. That was because the guy I was dating back then said, "Oh, I want to go with you. I don't mind if you don't talk to me. I'll just sit there. I just want to see you." I think my friends met this guy once. I dated him a short period of time. And I was like, "Sure, go with me." So we were in a coffee shop. I'm trying to study FARChem 121. That's the first laboratory exam. And he's just looking at me and he would draw me. I get distracted. I'm like, oh my god. So I was not able to study at all. And the next day, the exam day, I was late. Everybody was already starting with their exam. I was late. That was the lowest exam I ever got in my entire life. I got 19.19%. I will, or 21, something like that. It's ridiculous. Like, how did I get this grade? I did not study. It's multiple matching type, but you cannot guess because it's like column A is chemical formula, or like maybe their chemical name. Then column B is chemical formula, and then column C is other names, and then column D are possible brand names, and then column E uses. Ah, that exam. I ended up passing that subject because I learned my lesson from there on that not studying will just not do it. Well, I've already learned my lesson. But yeah, is it worth it? A college degree for me, especially, I mean, I didn't like pharmacy. It wasn't my choice. But to me, it is worth it. I am proud to have graduated college. I am proud to be a pharmacist. Now, money wise, the compensation of pharmacists in the Philippines. I know here everybody is like, oh, you're in the US, you're going to get paid really well. A lot of people here do not know how much pharmacists earn here. I mean, of course, in my group, in my Facebook group, in my newsfeed, a lot of people would know because we're pharmacists. But non pharmacists do not know how much they are earning. Uh, to finish pharmacy here, if you studied here, is a couple of $100,000. I have no real estimate, but I know it is expensive. That's why they do get paid like that. Now in the Philippines, um, non UP peeps or uh, from different universities, if anyone is listening or tune in today, can you tell me how much your tuition fee was? Or if you're gonna watch this later on, can you comment down below how much your tuition fee is or was? I honestly I do not have an idea how much tuition how much your tuition fee or how much pharmacy tuition is in different universities. I really have no clue how much it costs. So to me it was probably a total of 1,500. Let's be conservative and say 2 grand, $2,000 to finish my pharmacy degree. To me, it is worth it because of all the things I have mentioned, my work ethics, discipline, the people I've met. And even if it was not what I wanted to do, I end up in a career that I loved and I was passionate about. So it was great. Uh, how much is a pharmacy tuition? I have no idea. Anyone? Anyone who knows how much is pharmacy tuition in the Philippines? I think it's like right now, Suguro, it's like 500. I'm guessing, anywhere from $500 to $1,000 per sem. I am guessing. I am nowhere sure how much it actually is. Okay, so anyway, when I started working, secret na lang how much I was earning. But as a lecturer, I did earn pretty well, and I know friends who are earning pretty well. So I guess my message here is legally in the Philippines, a pharmacy cannot operate without a license of a pharmacist. Okay? You need a licensed pharmacist in your store to be open. And I feel bad, and I know that a lot of pharmacists are getting paid so much less, even less than what I was earning when I was just a student with no degree and no license. Um, I've seen some people post that they are getting paid what, $200 a month. It's sad. I hope there is some kind of a regulation that would, like that would make pharmacist salary or healthcare professionals salary above a minimum wage. Like, it's sad that there is no regulation like that, but in the end, sometimes the government cannot really do so much, so you have to rely on yourself. So when I started looking for a job, I knew how much salary I was expecting and I deserve. So That's why I took that job. But I do have friends who did not go into lecturing but earn pretty well. But it took them a while looking for a job. Why? Because they know their work's value. They know that they are equipped and they are professionals and that they have worked hard and they know the quality of work that they can actually offer. So when they were looking for a job, yes, they were ready to bargain because it's their first job, but there is only a certain limit that they would go like, this is the minimum that I would accept. My message is for pharmacists in the Philippines, please know your worth. Please know the value of your license, the value of your education. The sad thing is, people sometimes accept less than what they deserve. So they will always have pharmacists there, even if they're not paying well. But if no pharmacist accepts a low ball salary, time will come that these big companies will realize that, hey, we need them. So we have to show that we need them, appreciate them, not only by saying that we're proud of them or they are heroes or whatever. This goes for other healthcare fields or healthcare profession. Not only by saying like we appreciate or whatever, show it also in our salary. We need money to survive. We need money to feed our family. We need money to provide. So it's nice that we are appreciated, but it's also nice to be paid well, to get paid well, you know? So again, that is just my opinion. I know some people are not as blunt about things, but yeah, I am like that in certain things. So yeah, guys, thank you very much for today. This is a long live stream. So thank you for those who dropped by, who continue to listen all throughout, and to everybody who will be watching this later on. So have a good night and good morning or good afternoon to people around the world. So bye.